So we've experienced some pretty interesting letdowns this week in consciousness and ability, and consciousness and reality. Basically, newscopters and all that, and the frickin' DC plane crashes and such. And so we're gonna focus a little bit on doing what we can to help clear the process, to intuitively see into things, into events, to see where things may have went wrong. Yeah, we're gonna do what we can to basically try to fix things, if at all possible. Manual controls are a need, they are a must, and we don't currently have them on most things. Alright, just straight up. I'm just gonna let you know straight up, I don't know the full effects. I don't know all truly what went on, but, oops, I have a feeling that something unexpected happened with the realization of the flight controls. Basically, the pilots, they saw the error too soon, too late. They knocked over a drink, which basically spilled over all the controls, over the commands, over the interface, whatever it was. And they could no longer operate or pilot the ship because it was locked in. And so, if you had your teams, your angels, completely involved and able to input random input commands into the process on their own, they could take control over the ship. So that if you completely lose consciousness, if you completely lose awareness, if you completely fuck off, they would at least be able to do something about it. As it is now, you basically have them programmed into set flight plans. There's a reason why that helicopter basically tried to hit a plane twice. Because it's trying to land, it's trying to find an exit path, it's trying to find a logical, a place where it can fly. And that's basically where everything else is flown. It's not going to try to fly in places where nothing has ever existed. It's not going to choose along those random variables, and yet still, our parameters themselves lock them out. Our hardwares and controls lock them out. When things are set in motion, we can't stop them. Guys, are you aware that almost any Android phone in existence doesn't have an easy way to turn the fucking thing off? You can't turn these fucking phones off, guys. If you immerse that phone in salt water right now, my phone especially, you immerse it in salt water, and you go, oh fuck, it's destroying the battery's fucking catching fire, and you try to hit that, press and hold the power button, all it's gonna do is reset the fucking phone. It's gonna stay on. It's gonna cycle down, and it's gonna cycle back on again. What the godly fuck? It needs to fucking stay powered off. We have nothing that makes goddamn common sense in the fucking logic, the fucking ether, in the fucking physical world, guys. All of our phones and shit, all of our fucking devices, they were not designed to take adverse situations, and they need to be designed and set up to take manual input commands. So when they get immersed in fucking fire, the thing's too goddamn hot. The thing's been clearly fucking submerged to fucking conductive salt. The thing's been clearly submerged to a fucking drink. And you need to be able to input and override the controls with a manual fucking switch, with the manual fucking operations, manual fucking gears and shit. Manual shit, guys. And you need to have parameters which allow your teams, your angels, in on the process, instead of transposed like this, instead of separated. Because the way it is right now, they can't do shit. They can't do fucking shit, guys. So I'm gonna look into a little bit on this process. I'm gonna use some energy and focus in. I'm almost sensing an immediate panic from the pilots themselves. As soon as they touch those inputs or commands, it needs to immediately respond. It needs to override. You say, oh shit, and you start flipping and flopping for controls, it needs to fucking override right then and there. Disengage. Whatever flight protocols, whatever the pathways it had. for both pilots. I don't think it was set up for either. Hell, they could have. I'm gonna save my energy for that. I honestly don't have the best energetic sight awareness. Right now, for me, I need to be focused mainly on clearing it, on healing, and on clearing the world. It's very easy to disrupt our connections. And by that I mean electrically, with our devices, with our circuitry. Almost none of them are epoxy coated. None of them were designed to take hard events. It's very easy to interrupt their pathways, to stop them, completely block them off. If that pilot were to suddenly knocked over a drink onto his controls, onto his joysticks, onto whatever the arrangements that there are, it would have stopped his input commands, especially if they are fly-by-wire. Elon, I've told you this before, we need to focus on overhauling both the hardware and software from the ground up to allow our teams and angels full access, because they are aware of what's going on seconds before it actually even happens, but we are not. And so how long must this go on, guys, before we actually make things right, as they should be? We can have fully autonomous cars, we can have fully autonomous ships, but not like this. It's not gonna work out like this, guys. You're seeing it clearly for yourself. You can't fucking input commands when you goddamn need to. And that's disaster. This is a disaster. Anyways. Okay. Clearing. Refocusing. Beginning. A seer, a gift with energy abilities such as Healing Wednesday, would be able to more clearly see into events than I can right now, because I am constantly engaged in clearing. My brain is almost always at an exhausted supply. It doesn't allow me clear energy sensitivity or sight. That's why I say my energy sensitivity is decreasing, because I'm literally running below reserves. I've been at below reserves for a while. It doesn't. I'm never almost allowed to recover fully, because I'm constantly clearing. It's a process which is which is needed. A little bit poisoned because of sugar. Just because the drinks I drink are too salty, too sugary. They're too sugary. They poison me, basically. The wine I drink is too sugary. The fruits. That's why I complain about them sometimes. Better. need to design things to be manually operated over eyes. You, the human intuitive being, needs to have primary command. You, the intuitive angel, the intuitive soul, needs to have primary command. They need to have a dual interface, one that's just set up specifically for them, which either completely overrides the other, based upon the skill level of both. You have an angel, a team member, a guide, a soul, who basically helps you with all things in life. Oh, sorry, I'm poisoned. My parents, my mother is not helping. So if you guys could, it would be a very great fucking assistance. I live at 143 Waters Edge Drive, Lizella, Georgia 31052. You can send anything here. The mail lady comes out here every day. Single fucking package. She doesn't miss a single package. We will get it if you send it out to us. And so far, almost nothing has come from anything except from direct family. And it's been a little bit of a disappointment. Especially when we really needed it. Especially when we really requested it. Especially when what we do is of critical mission importance. It's important to the whole goddamn universe, to the whole goddamn planet. And it's like none of you are aware of that, none of you are seeing that or even interested in the process. You're just watching my videos, concerned but not caring. Some of you. So if we can have someone that's not too busy to please send a box of bottles of wine that are in glass bottles, not plastic bags, because the estrogen compounds will leach out, and they are too hard for me to deal with. Keep in mind that if you try to poison the wine otherwise, I will know. I will notice and I will know. I test them first, especially sources which I've never used before. It's just right now too much sugars and shit. Fruits. Things not being fully fermented. Vada has extremely light tolerances to unbalancing effects, balancing chemistry. I hate to do this. This is really like the only pure source of ethanol that I have. I don't have any extremely dry wine. I don't have any very dry wine. It's all sweet shit. It's all poisonous shit. That's how much I have. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm an energy worker. And there are toxins in that yet. Estrogen, namely. There's others as well. I agree but they help. The ethanol helps to restore balance to the system. It's just refined. Alright, now clearing again. The system's still locked up. But that's probably why we've had the recent crashes. Tesla, Elon, I do not agree with the way you've made our current cars. The current lineup of Tesla vehicles which are fully autonomous, which don't have fucking steering wheels, we need to change that, my friend. That is a disaster. No one agrees with that, my friend. Your angels don't even fucking agree with that. If something were to happen, if someone were to suddenly jump out or appear on the road, something were to fucking fall from the sky, fires just suddenly burst and erupt all around you, you have no way to input commands. The There's no way for manual override, no way to shut the thing down quickly, safely, responsibly. There's no big hit, there's no big kill switch, like there should be on all things. I need to draw energy towards myself. I'm getting better at selecting it instead of taking all of it, which is what I usually do. Because I'm new to this process as well, relatively. I've only just been doing that just for months, for several months, without realizing I could actually make a selection process. Literally just only taking the top surface. And this is why you need energy sensitivity. You have to be at somewhat modest reserves, modest health, modest stamina. Otherwise you will take it all just like you did there, just like you did then. It takes a little bit more time. It's not as easily spammable, because I haven't gotten quite used to the action just yet, but it's possible it is doing. So the energy, when I take it like that, instead of just directly utilizing from the people, which I was doing, because I have to do this, because literally the resources within my body are exhausted. I can almost no longer command energy this way, so I have to gather it from those outside me, from others. By the way, anything which comes off your body is a very easy way to tell the health of your entire system. Your tears, your salt ducts, your glands, your sweat, your saliva. It all tells, it all has characteristics, it all carries indicators of balance. It all does. That's why grooming is so important. People of Earth. It's easier to command the energies from the people of Earth because that's who I've loved on, who I've connected to the longest. There are other planets besides ours, and there are other galaxies as well. Planets within this galaxy. Basically, this galaxy is closed off. It's an isolated system. It's huge, it's enormous, it's vast. There's almost no end to it as far as we and you and I can see, realistically. In the center of the Milky Way galaxy, in the center of our galaxy, there's a huge open spot. There's a huge, basically, destruction zone, where a cataclysm has occurred, where basically everything was pulled towards the center. It was shattered, it was ripped apart, it was collapsed. That's why we have this great big, milky, basically accretion disk. Basically this big destruction spot. When you look at our galaxy, it's cloudy. It shouldn't be. Guys, our galaxy is billions of years old. Anything which should have settled, anything which could have settled should have been settled out. This includes interstellar space dust, and it is not. As a doctor, I'm telling you these things. It's not right. Our universe is drastically different than it was several billion years ago. However many years. At the beginning, it was very much different. Before all this, before the cataclysm. I remember a completely different star map, a completely different outlay of the universe. It wasn't like this at all. If anyone could help me with my nose, basically, never say help me with my nose, help me with my airways. Basically, the bones in my face, in my cavity up here, were basically, it was collapsed and pushed back. This needs to be lifted up. It needs to be called to gently guide it out. The bones in my face basically need to be reconstructed back into their original spots, into original positions. It's very energy work otherwise. I'm constantly having to basically clear my airways. Basically having to breathe through my mouth, which is very exhausting. Very dehydrating, especially after you've just eaten. You have to be constantly sipping water. It's not a very fun, not a very nice process. And this has basically been my life since I was 2. I shattered my bones after I hit, basically, from running around. Falling face forward onto the floors. Because I needed to move around. Your body craves activity. Oh god. But this now that I just woke up to. You need oxygen, you need air. My left side is the worst. There's literally a bone which is blocking my complete airways. Yeah, this whole nose, everything needs to get moved, just shifted out. All this, it needs to be opened up. You can do so by simply shining light and connecting to it, just asking it to move. Sorry for all the cursing, guys, truly. It's just the easiest way for me to communicate. Let's continue to do so after. Just focus on me and my location, and you will do so. You will help me greatly, my friend. Just like you did now. I need more of it. I just need a larger focus for me myself. But right now, I gotta finish this fucking video. Otherwise, it'll just drain my team member's consciousness. That's another thing, too. Not tiring out your teams and angels, guys. If they are too tired, they're not going to be able to input or override the commands or processes for you. Not even if they've tried to force it. Your primitive selves don't allow them. It takes too much energy. They themselves have to basically skip, manipulate the numbers on the board, the device itself, instead of just the ones and zeros. You need to allow them basically the smallest input commands possible, the smallest energy inputs possible. You need to make them a command interface where they can interface with, and just even slight touches will register upon this device. It needs to be completely closed off from the environment, epoxied. The very outer side shouldered off, not close to it, but the outside. If that's a requirement, it needs to be based on Hall sensors upon magnetic gravimetric force. Yeah, you can stop healing now. I'll do this later. It's frustrating. It's frustrating this, because I gotta completely focus. I've done it with my lower spine. Basically, pulled the whole thing. I rotated the interior. I rotated basically that pelvic bone out. The tailbone. I rotated about this much, and it felt fucking weird. The whole thing was sore for days. I felt like I dislocated my spine or completely messed things up, but I didn't. Eventually, it rehardened and settled back. There's a few other things I've done that with, but they don't come to mind right now. Clearing. Restoring. Other universes. Yeah, we basically have other fucking universe out there, guys. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Super? That's literally how it is. Cosmic transference. Cosmic transference from me to them. The most powerful universe has been made aware to our plight. I'm no longer toxicified. I'm no longer in toxicity. Sugar does that. Too much from what is from fruits without them being fully fermented does that. Too much from sugars. Doesn't matter how healthy or wholesome they are. Too much of it will hurt me. Too much of it will hurt you. It just does so much more quickly for me. The energy is more important than being neat and proper. Again, just energy sensitivity is decreasing. I have to take a break. But that's about... I've covered the most important topics. That's why we've been having close crashes and near misses. All devices, all things that we make, it needs to have manual buttons, guys. It needs to have a cleverly designed pathway which immediately shuts the thing down. Not to just start and reboot the system. What if the system itself is wrong? What if things are happening to the hardware which the creators, the designers themselves haven't accounted for, but you as the owner does? You're seeing this clearly. There's a fire fucking outside. There's an ice fire outside, which is either going to collapse or damage the board in a way that the programmers haven't designed for, haven't accounted for. They couldn't, because they're not exposed to those conditions. They haven't thought about completely submerging these things in fucking ice water, or fucking sub-zero nitrogen temperatures, or fucking like saline salt water, or even sugary water, even fucking soda. Guys, we make these devices so fucking limited. Almost everything that we fucking do, we use the cheapest fucking components possible. Trying to save cost. Not bulletproofing, not protecting things. So when things get submerged, it damages them. This electric bike included. That's why I want to take the whole thing apart and overhaul it. overhaul the whole thing and make it so that no matter what you expose this to, it will always be working. It will always work. You can fill your motors up with oil. You can epoxy them. It only is. It's literally a 10-cent fucking coating. Back in the 1960s, 1980s, that's all it was. It was a 10-cent fucking coating of plastic, and it protected the whole thing. You could submerge it and dunk it in water, and it would have been fine. We don't have that nowadays. We're not doing that nowadays, for the sake and cost of economizing and making things repairable, so that they can fail, so that they will fail, and so that they have to be prepared. Well, if it's at the cost of human lives, you can see how honoring that process is now, is it? How many people have died simply at the result of due to our own neglect, simply due to the result of our own negligence. Those children, all those lives, everything that those bodies have worked up and built for, has been lost. We can't build those back. Not without some cosmic energy inputting into the process. Some kind of colossal energy which we do not have. We do not yet have. I may be a healer. I may even be the chosen one, the one. But I'm not going to be able to do much against that as I am now. I need more energy, guys. I need more help. Your family's lives are at stake. Our family's lives are at stake. This is a very real process. It's not funny. It's not fun. There's nothing funny about this. What would have I given to have kept those children's lives? Everything. It's everything what I'm doing now except more. It's not coming from enough sources. It's not coming from enough. I'm not getting enough input, guys. Kings, queens, we're supposed to be supported by our communities, not excommunicated like this, not ignored, not neglected like this. We have masters, very well-meaning masters upon the earth, who are basically doing all they can to clear you guys in consciousness, to clear you guys in energy, to settle the darkness, to honor people's lives. You say that your father has worked. Your great-great-grandfather died during the Gettysburg War just to watch a kid work on his bag, just to survive. Well, maybe there's a reason why he's doing so. Maybe because you guys don't design bags well enough. Maybe because we don't design anything well enough. Maybe because he's trying to get ahead in fucking life. Maybe he's trying to better himself. Isn't that obviously pertinently, plainly clear? Apparently not to some of you. And that's what darkness does. It makes us reactive. It makes us very closed off. It's been this way for eons. We've basically been living the same lives over and over again. It's the same people, guys. I've been having the same dreams. I've been having dreams about the same people, but just in different lifetimes. And just trying to get you guys all to do something which makes common sense. Because if there's other galaxies out there, and there are, and there's other planets out there, and there are, you have to ask, what the fuck are we doing as people on here, on Earth? Holy shit, and why are we doing it like this? It's because basically old systems. We've basically been... A great darkness was beset over this planet called the Illuminati, which basically made things dark and convoluted, which basically kept us in darkness and suffering. And that's why, compared to the rest of the universes, we are honestly so advanced spiritually as we are. Because we know what suffering is, we know what hardship is, we know what dysfunction is. And they haven't, not to this degree, not to this magnitude. I was basically doing everything blind just then. probably not going to be able to talk very clearly after in a few moments. Though kickback is catching up. Base cognition has been affected, like it does always. So we need to create anything can happen to you. You need to let your angel basically be able to take over the commands, the input controls. Yeah, that's all I can do now. Thank you for the holding of the hearts. Basically, I shouldn't be talking or functioning right now. I should be resting. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Oh shit. Sorry about that jump scare.